Welcome back to the CDL Analyst Desk. I'm aBeZy, this is aLLeY, and also Nameless. But heading into this year, especially the Kickoff Classic, we saw the Atlanta FaZe fall early, and kind of like last year, people were wondering, how are they going to be when the season starts? So far, Atlanta FaZe are #1 in the CDL, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. But they'll be facing off against the New York Subliners, a team that are looking to work their way up the rankings. But aLLeY, when it comes to Atlanta, I mean, they're just dominant. They're the best. They're great, every single one of them.
There's almost only so much you can say about this squad, right?
Yeah.
Again, we said it earlier in pre-show. It's just a continuation of all the great things that they have accomplished as a team. If you want to nitpick, maybe clean up a couple of rotations, maybe trust each other a little more, as Alec was saying. He's making some play calls, and the boys are just not listening to him. But over and all, I mean, it's Atlanta FaZe. They were dominant last year, and they're looking to do a repeat this year.
Now, Nameless, when it comes to the game field keys to victory, I mean, Atlanta knows better than we do. But when it comes to numbers, what are a few things that they could work on?
I mean, Atlanta FaZe, they're just unbelievable. Game field keys to victory, lock down the hardpoints. NYSL is winless through 7 hardpoint maps this season. For Atlanta FaZe, a team that's sitting at 5-2 in hardpoint, they should be okay there. Cellium continued player of the major form, 1.35 KD this season so far, #1 overall. For me, it was like a race between him and Sib, and he's just completely taken over. Cellium is just dominant in that role. He's having an MVP year so far. And then keep things simple versus a bad slaying team. Atlanta's #1 overall team KD. NYSL is last, 12th out of 12. So obviously this is a very lopsided match. If Atlanta FaZe just come in here, really New York, they just look good in search and destroy yesterday, right? So I think Atlanta, come here, take it extremely serious. Try to go, 5-0, win every single match here, and don't joke around when it comes to search and destroys, because clearly New York is a threat there.
Well, New York is a threat in search and destroy, but we can't forget who's in this lobby right now. We got
That's very true, though.
Yeah, no, seriously. Players like Simp have dominated that when it comes to the scene for a while now. But the game field player to watch is definitely going to be Cellium. He's a guy who has dominated when it comes to non-traded kills and just dominating leaderboards all around, aLLeY.
I completely agree. His non-traded kill percentage, I believe, is over 70%, if I'm correct. And as it shows on your screen, positive KD overall. Search and destroy is a 2.28 KD. That is literally the most mind-blowing thing I have ever seen on the professional level. Cellium has yet to be shut down.
Yeah, so talking about search and destroy, yeah, New York, they're going to have it out for him right now. And there goes the guy right there, Cellium, leading the league in KD in just about every single category out there. But you know what? They're going to be facing off against New York Subliners, a team with a little chip on their shoulder. They made a recent team change. We've been talking about it since last week. But right now, they're looking to continue their win streak. They finally got their first win. And aLLeY, it's safe to say that I like what I see from them so far.
You know what? New York is climbing out of the trenches right now.
Yes.
They are literally tooth and nail pulling themselves out of the hole they dug themselves at the beginning of the season, and now heading into Major 1, coming off a hot win to a Game 5. I do have to say, man, they got blundered in the hard points, and they got away with the 2 searches and the control, and that's going to be really difficult against a team like Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, and Royalty coming into the mix, I want to see him get more comfortable, especially as their submachine gun player replacing Neptune. And the thing is, one player that's been popping off like crazy is Hydra. But aLLeY, when it comes to the game field keys of victory, what does New York have to do? Well,
Hydra needs to continue the hot slaying this weekend. He is 1.21 in the series versus Boston yesterday. We also got to look at Crim for that as well. And the big question now has to really be Royalty. He has to bring more slaying and tough SMG battle. He has a 0.74 KD so far this season, and that is just not going to fly against the likes of Simp and aBeZy, in argument as being the best sub players in a very, very long time. And of course, rotation wins critical to finding success at hardpoint. 11th in rotation win percentage. My biggest gripe yesterday when it came to New York Subliners in the hardpoints is they left a lot of time uncapped, actually. It felt like they were in control of the situation, but nobody was getting time on the hills. So maybe a communication error there, but we talked to Crim yesterday, and he definitely said that they know what they're doing wrong. So hopefully we see a quick turnaround today.
I will say this about this matchup, Nameless. When it comes to both of these teams playing each other, I'm not looking for New York Subliners to walk away with a big victory over Atlanta FaZe. What I'm looking for right now are just momentary victories. I want to see them do better in hardpoint.
Absolutely.
Fun game modes.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple situations yesterday where the game got away from them. It was 2 fairly narrow hard points, on Bocage and on Tuscan, and those are 2 SMG maps, right? And this is a team that should thrive in those situations. happens if Royalty can step it up. But yeah, it's just a situational play. I want to see them making better decisions. We saw at the end of that Bocage where they really let the game get away from them on that Trenches Hill. So situations like that, just respond better. Stop dying on rotation, like Krim said at the very end. Take your time, set up. And, you know, if FaZe bullies their way in, fine. That's a better way to lose than losing by mistake on your
own. Right. Yeah. Team full of vets, you know what? I think they're going to find their way out of that mess. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time for the Game Fuel Marquee match of the day. And it's time to toss this over to Miles and Chance. Fellas, it's up to you to close out the day. Take it away.
It's going to be a great one. Thank you very much, Veli. Chance, we are ready to go, baby. Let's get it. This is going to be a fun one. We've gone back and forth quite a lot about what to expect about this series, and the storylines are all there, man. Last series, of course, before the major really gets going. And, mate, we are treated to a Berlin hardpoint right off the rip.
Yeah, for the first time for Atlanta FaZe. And Cellium, by the way, it cannot be understated how bonkers his stats are. It's not just the KD, it's not just the damage output. Did you see that? Like non-traded kills per life. He is averaging every single time he spawns in, he gets a kill and he gets away with his life as well. I mean, right now, I think this is your clear-cut frontrunner for MVP. Certainly so in stage one.
Okie dokie. Cellium, our Game Fuel featured player, start things off with a plum with the rest of his teammates finding kills as well. New York Subliners, they've scratching their heads on that one. Time going the way of FaZe right off the rip. And this has been fun, can't lie, already. Being treated to what should be a very exciting contest against Hydra. Man of the hour, it feels like, for the New York Subliners. And the fans across the world loving what he's putting up. Can he bring the goods today now against FaZe? The answer is maybe, baby. 4 down there for FaZe. Now we've got the New York Subliners in the point.
And that is a nice little break on Hill. Collect a bit of that scrap, and you'll still be down by a decent bit of time. But you see Hydra right now waiting for his teammates as Krim takes a tumble. I have to make sure you group up and try to make one perfect break. But New York, they're doing it as a full 4-man squad. They are taking their time going all the way around back. And if you're taking your time, you got to make sure your push is perfect. And, well, Cellium, the first man to cut it down.
Yep, indeedy. Clay through mid now. Towards the mailroom again. Atlanta FaZe still managed to get themselves in there. Now Clay trying to break on in. How can he find anything? Checking the corner, breaking down a wall, full-blown Kool-Aid man. But nothing as of yet. The rest of the squad coming on through. Every single angle covered there. New York Subliners, they find their way in. They find Cellium. They finally kill him. Simp's here. Again, trade upon trade upon trade. Hydra looking to break the wheels. Stop this from actually getting any worse. And the hell's he got in the front of that rat?
Whatever he's got on it, maybe it doesn't pay off quite well enough. By the way, Royalty, this is a very nice start for him. The man that has, what, in the only 2 series he's played, he's been averaging a 0.7 for the squad. He's got to pick it up and slaying it. Honestly, so far, so good. It wasn't the perfect break on this hill, but honestly, New York doing a very nice job just to strip away some of that time and, much more importantly, get set up on that rotation. It is only a 6-point game between these 2 teams. New York, this is their opportunity to really try to build some bit of a lead. Krim winning gunfights over towards Doc. He got the clearance and fire. This right now is perfect for the Subliners.
So far, so good. aBeZy was trying to be the man and make it happen. He will not be, though. Royalty now getting involved. Good to see him finding himself on the roster here so far. 6-4. Good strike. Oh, 7-4 now. There's a great start out of him. Still, the lead now goes away. The New York Subliners. A beautiful hard point for them. Simp and aBeZy now down low, looking to find the opportune moment. Here comes the wind-up punch, and the charge now forward for FaZe. Cell's going to help out. aBeZy, this is your moment, Sonny Jim. Flying in, doesn't get anything done. Hydra from behind. New York Subliners chance. They're looking all right as they hold the line continuously. 20 seconds remaining here. Should all be theirs.
Yeah, New York going to collect those final 15 seconds. It is worth mentioning, by the way, this is the first time we have seen FaZe played this map. I know there's been a decent bit of conversation about how Atlanta is handling their hardpoint vetoes. I know this is a team very much willing to sort of flex, expand their map pool, sort of play with it around a little bit, but right now they are going against a team who is 0-7 in hardpoint throughout stage 1, and they're playing on a map that we have not seen them. Well, their first look so far, they are down by 40 points. We are going to just a mess of this P4 hill, and either time for the moment, able to collect any bit of time. Clayster gets cleaned up, so maybe FaZe will be able to collect a little bit, but even still, not easy to stay alive in P4.
This is the swarm from FaZe. They know someone's around here, and it's Royalty. aBeZy patient, pays off. Big kill. Hydra's up next. Oh, no! Bullets, you need them. That's fresh, though, as the teammates there to help him out. Clay comes through. aBeZy on a 4 now. That was a stressful little moment there, and he will eat the stun, but for now, he's still holding it together. aBeZy starting to try to heat things up. Krim's going to be there to cut him down, and, mate, it's getting hot. It's getting spicy. It's big stuff out of Simp already. There were many who touted him as not necessarily the player he's been at the start of the season, and already, a couple of weeks in, the man is terrifying.
I mean, yeah, I think Simp is probably one of those players that I don't know exactly what it is, but he has been getting a ton of hate, I think, as of late. And one of the comments that sort of cracked me up is the people that are acknowledging it after the first couple series of like, we're going to have to make fun of him while we can because we know it's not going to last. We know at some point he's going to flip that switch and go back to just his literal world domination. And, well, Berlin, the map they haven't played, he's 13-5 on a 6 spree. He was on a 5 spree before this and got teammated. So literally the walking streak at this point is Simp. Atlanta FaZe have the lead. They've got full control of both sides of P3 and maybe Royalty there to open things up just a little bit. If nothing else, massive kill to shut down Simp.
And still, while the kills are taking place, the lead's still relatively tight. Atlanta FaZe with a slight lead for now, but it's a nice hard point either way. Everyone's having a good time. See how evenly contested we can remain. Again, it's going to take 1 or 2 decent hardpoint holds to really separate anything here. Final few moments going the way of NYSL. Big kill out of Clay there to stay alive. That's 2 for him. And old Thumb's still got life in him. Royalty now trying to make his way forward as the first set of hardpoints come to a close, and it's a single second separating the 2 teams. We'll take that, baby. Exciting stuff here in Berlin. Into the next set we go.
It looks like Krim has the read on Arcitys. I'm assuming he's going to call that out to his teammates to watch the down low push, and that's going to be Clayster's job. Clayster from the top row takes care of business inside the actual point, though. Guess who is here? Simp on his new life goes on a 3 spree. Good enough for a couple trades, but with 35 seconds left, New York in a slightly stronger spot to get these final few points. Another flank for FaZe is going to be coming through. That's number 7. That's number 7 that gets the kills. aBeZy can only find 1 Hydra there for the next 2. And I got to say, New York, I was expecting this to go a much different way, but we so far have a battle on our hands.
Beckham's are already looking a little bit squirrely, but we'll see if NYSL can keep this one going. aBeZy's not going to check that corner, and why would he? Royalty tucked away so neatly, finds it. Clock's still going in favor of the Subliners. First hard point here in the second set, finished. All good looks there from NYSL. Second one about to pop here in the mailroom, and already Simp, aBeZy playing and wait. Royalty's got himself a brand new corner. Now he gets cut down. Here comes a few more, and Simp, oh no, Clay with a rat! Suns him on the inside of the hard point, and now you've got some time going the way of Atlanta FaZe, but Krim trying to make his entrance. He's been a little quiet this game so far, but that's not like Porter in IRL. He's been wonderful in the interviews, and mate, can we get him again for the end of this one if New York win? I hope so.
I mean, that's the dream. Keep in mind, this is very similar to the last go-around, but a couple things that are different. Number 7, aBeZy, he's going to the flank. These might not even be gunfights. He needs to take too soon, but his teammates are picking up the kills, so now aBeZy has successfully flipped those spawns. Him picking up those 2 kills is going to spawn FaZe towards the left side of the map, and that was the one thing Atlanta did not hold. I don't even care about Royalty World Star. That's fine. But you and FaZe, over towards P3, they basically got pulled 60. Well, aBeZy has done the hard work to secure that rotation, so you might be down by 17 points going into it, but already Atlanta, a much nicer job on the rotation.
Here comes Krim 6 making his way forward, and it's 3 now in a row for Krim Thick, and he's trying to find some more outside. Here comes Hydra through mid-street. Pressure on, man. The covering fire is all good, and Hydra continues to flail. It's 13-17 from overall. Not a problem, right? He's still making this work out. Time ticking away now for Atlanta FaZe. Trying to hit through the back. Isn't it a bloody shot against Simp? What was that fight? How did that fight go on for so long? Pro con? Indeed. Through the back we come now, and Hydra, oh baby, the play's still alive and kicking. Can he find aBeZy? He does! Oh my word. I was making fun of the man for missing a shot a minute ago, and now he's on a 5 spree.
Well, he does get shut down. I'm going to say as well, that is incredibly important for New York to get that break. If they like actually get those back spawns but can't quite get inside the hill, I mean, that's just a dagger for themselves on the rotation. But they get that clean break, they maintain the lead, and you go to a P3 where there was the investment from aBeZy to take that full wrap around, and York's still able to bully themselves back in. So Subliners for the moment taking care of business, and even Cellium, you see, Game Fuel featured player 18 and 20. I mean, this is a guy who has been unstoppable, but for the moment, his fire has been quelled.
I mean, it's still a smoldering fire. There's still some heat in there, still some fine embers. A little bit of oxygen will get that bad boy back to life, and okay, that helps. Royalty's up next. He knows there's 2 here. Oh, the squad spawns from Clay there. Cell stay alive, still on the 2 spree. Hard point going the way of Atlanta FaZe, 40 on that one again. Nice bit of a lull now as aBeZy can catch his breath and chill out for a moment. No problem for him though, 24 and 19. Here comes the approach though. Simp's cutting these players off. No one from NYSL is even close to this point right now, Chance.
No, this is without question, I think the hardest hill, and well, outside of Bokage P1, excuse me, one of the hardest hills in this game to hold. In FaZe, I mean, completely on point. This is again one of the most impressive we've seen on Berlin. Krim maybe fighting for the final 10 seconds to scrap, but he gets cleaned up and FaZe there to collect it. Very back and forth game. We have a couple of wild hills as well that have progressed, but as it stands, FaZe, that 20-point lead going over towards P5, another very difficult one to hold on to, but under with the automaton. Easy kills for him. There's a nice little 4 in the feed, and Subliners, they have bought themselves a good chunk of time here on P5.
P5's looking all right so far. Clay's roaming around, having a good time. Timing paying off for him as well. 40 seconds remaining here. Atlanta FaZe will get back in there for a brief moment. Look at the yellow arrows on the mini-map. Bit of a spread right now. Clay's trying to just stop the player on point. Right now, that was the goal. Hydra's going to be there to help out. Can't quite get everyone here. aBeZy does help out with the team kill. A tiny bit of a disconnect here from Atlanta FaZe, but they have a decent lead coming now towards the end of P5, Chance.
And you see, it looks like Subliners actually sort of chalking up P5, right? They're just trying to keep FaZe off of it while everyone else is going on rotation. So Royalty is taking the fullest of flanks at Clayster, trying to effectively trap them in from the other side. Clayster gets beamed, but look at what Royalty has done for those spawns. He has gotten the left side for the team, and at the very least, the objective work has been done, but now it's about the gunfights, right? FaZe have built themselves a very nice lead, and aBeZy on a 4 just breaks the entire thing by himself. FaZe just set themselves up to win this game.
And this is this horror that is aBeZy when he's on his absolute prime. Starting to heat up here in Vanguard, as is all of Atlanta FaZe. New York Subliners' chance have been absolutely stunned from the last few hills. They haven't been able to get anything going. They can get the win here. It's the final 10 seconds now. Clay with the kill. Go, Subliners. You got to get on the point. Get something going here. It's Cellium on the 4 spree, soaking up the time. Last minute contest now. This could be the opportunity to maybe stop something happen, but no, he doesn't. Cell with the kills. Puts him on a spree. Simp's going to be there for the final seconds. And Atlanta FaZe, we haven't seen him on Berlin yet. Now we got our first taste, and a little spicy. I think some yogurt maybe to bring down the heat factor there, but love what we saw.
And I think maybe one of the more important takeaways for me, obviously very back and forth game, but one, the adjustments that FaZe needed to make. Again, that P3, the first set of rotations, they basically got full 60 on. aBeZy, the next time that hill comes up in the second set of rotation, goes on the full flanks to flip those spawns to make sure that the deja vu doesn't happen again. And that P4, the second time around, again, I'm not 100% certain, but it was damn near close, if not one of the best P4 holds we have seen on Berlin. And I mean, that's the first time we've seen Atlanta FaZe on that map. Maybe not as dominant as I was necessarily expecting, but FaZe still took care of business off the back of the tiny tears. 30 bomb for the both of them.
30 bomb for the both of them. Again, as we look across the highlights, it was a bloodbath, a real closely contested match at times. I mean, look at the leads between either team. Everyone had their swing of things. Everyone had a good time here, but at the end, Atlanta FaZe with the stamina, with the staying power to really run the series and run the map to its close. And man, this run from Hydra was a fun one again. A lot of good kills. Strange protracted gunfight to start that one off, Chance, but then great timing all round. Beautiful stuff from either team. But mate, that was the first time we got to see FaZe on Berlin, and it's been the sort of story of FaZe since Vanguard dropped, is play the weaker modes, really get the best practice possible, and come into that first major lethal form. And I think they're doing just that.
I mean, it genuinely is concerning. There's so many teams that either have like an auto veto in both hardpoint, like an auto veto, honestly, in any given game mode. I think FaZe is one of the only, if not the only teams that literally have played every single map now at some point. So tough to pick a ban against these guys in the future. I know that is obviously a part of their long-term game plan. And I will say though, just for the flip side, to tell the story of the New York Subliners, I think Royalty is obviously a focus point on this team for good reason. He's the replacement player coming in for Neptune, and again, the first 2 series he's had like a 0.7, 0.75 for both of them. Obviously, the first time he's playing for Toronto, the ping is not on his side, but I think he is certainly the guy you want to look at to step it up in terms of slaying, just to make sure that second SMG on this squad is at least, you know, sort of in the even ballpark. And yes, they take that loss, but still, they were making decent plays around the map. The slaying was a little bit better. I'm just looking for improvements from this team in this series and see what they can do in the week and a half they get before Major 1, but they're just going up against some juggernauts right now.
I mean, that's a long time, dude, a week and a half to get that practice in. You know everyone's going to be grinding it out, including Atlanta FaZe, so well, we may see the last day of qualifiers today, the long week of scrims. Hopefully some of that gets streamed so we get to watch it, but that'll be good fun to watch. But yeah, man, that's it. Atlanta FaZe, they strike first, they strike hard, no mercy, full Cobra Kai right off the rip here, and it's exciting to see them, man. exciting to see them. Don't shake your head. That was great. Exciting to see how this one goes. Tuscan Search and Destroy coming up after this. And again, we have seen some goodies today. It's been a real fun day of Call of Duty. Whether you're a neutral or a fan of one of the teams watching, we appreciate you sticking this one around. Brother, what do you think about the Tuscan Search, dude? Of course, FaZe are ridiculous. But is there any sort of glimmers of hope, you think, from the New York camp?
Yes, absolutely. I would say for Hardpoint, saying no glimmer of hope is probably too extreme, but that has absolutely been the struggle point for the Subliners. If there's any hope of them winning this series, it'll almost certainly come from the 2-3-5, right? Especially if the Berlin doesn't go your way, the unplayed map for FaZe. So got to take care of business here. I'm not saying it's easy by any stretch of the imagination because, it's Atlanta FaZe. It's S&D. aBeZy's starting to get into the swing of things. Simp's starting to get into the swing of things. But that being said, seemingly solid map for both of these teams. Atlanta 1-0, New York 2-0. So comeback story, you never want to count out the GOATs.
You can't. It's impossible to count out the GOATs. Here we go. Fist pumps out. Clay's going to get some last-minute hydration in before we now roll into our Search and Destroy, the second map in the series so far. And again, if you have been with us since the start of Vanguard, man, it's been ups and downs, dude. We've seen a little bit of everything in the short, 4.5 weeks it feels like now, comp play, and the major is going to be something special. Plenty of surprises coming your way, Call of Duty fans, so I hope you're looking forward to it. It's going to be a real treat. I believe tickets are still available, so if you want to rock up the whole 4-day, I believe, experience, come on down. It's going to be a joy.
And Miles, correct me if I'm wrong, how often have we seen anyone on Atlanta FaZe sniping S&D?
Not since BO4, and even then that was Simp on a United.
There you go. I was going to say, because I know Arcitys can snipe as well, Cell obviously can snipe, but I think Simp's been the main guy. That might be like now that the Berlin Hardpoint's out of the way, one of the only things for FaZe we actually haven't gotten a great look at initially. By the looks of it, no snipers out by the side of FaZe, and you can see they're actually very prepared for this B pressure to come in. Big gunfight down low. That is actually the first blood battle, by the way. aBeZy is the Reaper in that category, but Crim has never been far behind. But now because of those two gunfights, this is a round that has effectively collapsed. Hydra and Clay for a 2v4.
Look at aBeZy. He gets that first blood and immediately he's like, yeah, I'm coming for the next few. You got him pinned. Here we go, aBeZy. That is a delightful finish. From first bloods all the way to the next two he picks up. New York Subliners got played like a fiddle there.
Nice little love tap towards the end from aBeZy as well, just making sure he can say hello to his friends, giggling the whole way. But that was the story, I think, from Cold War. aBeZy, without question, #1 S&D, most impactful player, first blood Reaper. Crim, though, surprisingly, consistently was always like top 2, top 3, also in first blood. So that is a nice look at a battle that they don't exactly play the most similar of roles, but in S&D, for that one key thing, they have a battle.
Fast hit over towards A now. aBeZy, your bomb carrier. Clay with a nice opener on the nade. Simp, somehow gets 2. All right, we'll take that. Crim's going to stop it. aBeZy's here. Not able to get the kill. It's a 1v1. Clay versus aBeZy. Oh my God, look at the aggression, man. Clay's going for it. aBeZy's going to hit the wrap here. Plenty of time. They've got a minute to go up against each other, but Clay holds the line. I mean, how many games has Clay played with aBeZy? Like, he knows him like the back of his hand, surely. Teamed for so long. Played against him at this level for so long. You know he's going to reach out that spot.
Also, by the way, the face of sarcasm from Clay. Like, again, not a great lip reader. No idea what the man said, but after he gets that kill, I'm telling you, just a hefty amount of sarcasm coming out of Clay in that moment. But take care of business. That was aBeZy. That was 4-0. So you shut down streak potential. You clutch for your team. You tie things up. And I think there's a lot of mid-map pressure as well from New York. Again, looking for those first bloods. Royalty is in the thick of it. And he is going to fall. That is bomb dropping. This is, I mean, already shaping up to be a dire situation for Subliners.
We'll see if they can pull it back. You still got Clay beside the top fire, top broken. Call it what you will. Eyes on aBeZy. They're trying to play this really slow. Subliners now slowly approaching. Hydra's got mid. This is a straight out 1v1 though. Clay's not going to be able to help you out here, mate. Nade's up. This could be an interesting chance. If you get a pick with a nade, that's huge. Okie dokie. Simp's tagged. The terrorists pick a corner. Here come the Subliners.
Clay's looking for the angle. Clay hits the angle as well, and Crim finds a pick. They flip it on its head. 3 versus 2. Cellium maybe has a trade in front of him, but you've got the odds, and Clay trying to stay alive. He gets caught for the 2v2, but that flank is coming in.
Oh no, Crim can't win either. Here comes the flank. It's Hydra! No! Cellium from that little heady, man. He picks up 3 and stops Atlanta FaZe losing a round that they had such a wonderful first. Look at that. Look how hard he is to kill.
I mean,
very hard.
If you think breaking out a B on Garrison was difficult, where someone's got all those angles with the tank, imagine trying to kill Cellium off that little like platform box in any direction. I don't think I've ever seen this in COD before, to where like if you crouch behind it, you can't see over it, but then when you walk up to it, it bumps you up an inch for like the best heady of all time. But that's what those boxes do, and Cellium, that will be his home all year long.
And that'll be our home in ranked play as soon as the show finishes. Simp, whoa, okay. First blood, finally going the way of the New York Subliners. It's going to be a good opener. So we get the bomb planted at A for essentially free. Subliners now, choo-choo, all aboard. They're going to hit the flank.
I think Cellium's got a little bit of pressure on him. He can feel that pressure as well. He's getting hunted with a nade on point, and look at the help in the back. Arcitys, if you go too far, he's going to catch you. More importantly, the beams from Cellium, the #1 overall SMDKD with Arcitys in the back, the protector. This is what Cell does. A 2.28 overall. There is no one on the planet remotely close to him in this game mode. And his team plays around it so well. Machines on Tuscan. And again, if not for that 1v1 from Clayster, his round count would be looking real different. But already for the Subliners, it still isn't pretty.
Far from over, though, here on Tuscan. 3-1 currently sat at. Subliners now, let's get on it. Forward they go. Royalty still on the donut. We'll see if that can change here. But it is 5 in a row now for Cellium.
Oh, that timing.
That's a stinger. aBeZy, he's such a hard kill, man. There's Clay down at 17. Here comes the reach out, though. The old fella's through mid. Nah, Simp's going to get Crim. Clay, last player up. Technical 1v4 for him. He's got plenty of info. Daddy is not going to stop him being seen. Good coverage. That's, I believe, 6, maybe 7 now for Cellium. We're in Streaks territory. Chances getting ugly.
And that literally just comes down to the mistake from Hydra, right? If you just hold that pre-aim and get that kill, you're good to go. You get the bomb plant down straight away. The call was perfect. The aggression through mid was perfect. But as soon as Hydra gets gunned, well, aBeZy then slides out, kills Royalty off bomb, and you don't get bomb down, and there's basically no hope of being able to clutch that round. So that one little mistake just makes things infinitely easier for FaZe. And Cellium might be thinking about Streaks, but Streaks he honestly does not need. But still, if he can get that 1 kill, he will get the glide.
This is one way to stop aBeZy getting first blood. And he
No, it's not.
Does.
No, it's not.
He still gets it. They stack up like, yeah, you can't kill both of us. He gets at least 1. 3v3. Should be able to plant on A. Royalty, though. This is it. This is your moment. Maybe hit the player on bomb. You know you've got Simp on the coverage there. Wrap back through mid. Here we go. They're trying to take it over. They might be able to get a kill at the very least. Royalty's on the board. Here we go.
Sign with the trades, though. 2 versus 2. And you see Simp, pull it out and just hit the shot. Easy for him.
Wait.
Honestly, one of the easier shots you'll see. Royalty, though, he's going hunted. He is chasing the sniper, and he gets caught. Cellium there with the coverage. I think right now FaZe are making sure that they show off everything that they have, or make sure they show they can do it all. Seen them on Berlin, seen them with the snipes, and right now seeing them just dominate New York in this game. There is no stopping aBeZy for the first bloods, by the way. You could have stress to make sure you get the trades, but you're not stopping that trade when it's moving.
He's as reliable as gravity, man. It's terrible. Another unknown variable we have is now Simp sniping. So all of a sudden, hey, you think you've got the game plan down? Nah, Simp's going to snipe. That changes everything. Nice nades from everyone now. Royalty's in trouble. And this is a different kind of nade. This is a very different look. Sal's got it. Oh, yeah, that's a 4v2. Clay's got the old boomstick out. It's done. Crim. If there was a part of the map you could throw yourself off, find it. Because they're coming for you, big man. Take them down. Bring down a few of them. He's going out swinging. You turn around, you might... Oh, aBeZy saw it. He threw them shoulders fast, but he saw enough. Crim, go on, mate. Give us the ace. Let's do this. This would be a great round either way. Eyes up. Porterhouse swinging for the fences here. And here come FaZe. Chance, this is not going to be an easy fight. If Crim gets this, though, I'll be very happy.
Now, Cellium just... Oh, no, aBeZy. Well, it gets caught. It just... Moments like that, you have to find those kills, and you got to pick up that bomb. FaZe now stacked up next to each other. Cellium on his home spot, and that'll take care of business. 6-1 victory for Atlanta FaZe, and I think the only ones who can feel the pain of New York right now is Dinosaur Jr. Not easy at all in this matchup.
What does that mean? I'm so sorry. No, I don't get that.
Great song, Miles. That's a great... I'm surprised you don't know that one.
I've got to Google that one. 2-0. The Atlanta FaZe. NYSL stunned on Tuscan. Absolutely trounced there. I mean, Cell 10-1. No one comes close. Nobody does it better. He went on a 10 spree. A 10 spree before being brought down. Unbelievable stuff. Atlanta FaZe continuing to impress, bewilder, and horrify Call of Duty fans across the world. The league themselves, everyone's trying to battle now to topple what a mighty squad they're already looking like coming into this major. The final qualifier day today. Of course, OpTic Texas major around the corner. So is that Gavutu Control chance. And mate, is it a 3-1? Is it a 3-0? Where are we at? What's going on?
I mean, if you had asked me before the series, I would have predicted a 3-0. And if you asked me after a stomping of an S&D like that, I'd have my mind in the same place. I mean, again, I think anyone that wants to make the jokes about FaZe and been like criticizing them for underperforming, I hope they had their fun for like the 2 series while it lasted, because it's looking like FaZe is basically back to their wheelhouse, playing every map, making good plays, still things to improve. But I mean, then you go to a map like Tuscan, you put Cellium in that one spot and he becomes unkillable. So it's just a team with too many problems to solve when you play against them. In Subliners, obviously right now, starting in loser's bracket towards the bottom of the league. A team that is not seemingly going to have answers this week, though. I will look forward to seeing the major. That being said, I mean, if they reverse sweep, it'd be the craziest one this year.
It would be the craziest one this year. Well, Atlanta FaZe look to be back on their BS. We'll be back on our BS right after this break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Crazy, crazy search and destroy scenes there as we now roll into map number 3 of this final series of the day. Last day of the qualifiers before the major. Get your tickets to the OpTic Texas major coming very soon. It's going to be exciting indeed. Chance, how are we doing, brother? I mean, it'll be a 3-0. It could. I'm saying it. You've said it. It could.
I'm just, saying could. Very, very.
I'm trying.
I'm keeping
the door open.
I mean, actually, I suppose you never know, right? I think one of the biggest issues. Oh, that's not a good look. Number 1 in defense for FaZe and number 12 in offense for NY. Look, if New York is going to win this, just dominate them on defenses. Like, get a couple clean open and breaks, get them set up in the spawn trap, and you can play a hardcore TDM on offenses as well if you need to. You never know, Miles.
No, you never know. No, you never, ever know. Here we go. Got boat control going the way of Subliners. Crim's find the kills. aBeZy's going to be blown into the stratosphere. After that red barrel lets him know who's boss. Slow cap at 8. We'll take that for now. I like this pressure from Clay. Not really enough to get it done as Cellium somehow finds it through the wall there, but there we go. Cleans up the kills. Arcitys moves forward, but he's been sniffed out in a big way. You still got a lot of map pressure in the side of New York Subliners' chance, but this is already starting to get a little bit dicey.
Dude, if I was Clay and someone killed me like that, I would tilt so quickly. That is just completely absurd that he finds kills like that. This game, honestly, might just straight up be Cellium's play. Yeah, dude. You give him a building with 6 windows in it and 2 breakable walls. You give him head glitches like you have in Tuscan. I mean, he's going to be having a field day all year long. Again, pick a window, any window. FMJ, he can shoot through whatever he wants. He's got to be the happiest man alive.
He might. I mean, his face wouldn't tell you that. He's just pretty chill about this in game. But 6-2 before it all finally comes crashing down. Second segment of A's gone. We're halfway through the final one, and this should be the cap. This is a lot of time. And even better in the life count. 22 lives for the Subliners, 21. 17 now for Atlanta FaZe. Mid-map, fight their way out, get towards B, get over to the beach. Not because it's a nice day, but because that's where the zone is.
And also, nice day outside, a little bit of rain, and honestly, for New York Subliners, not the worst thing. If Cellium's really the only one getting kills, it's not the worst thing that could happen. Admittedly, that life lead has been chopped down, and well, now you might be stuck in a bit of a spawn trap. A decent bit of map control. Number 2, Royalty opens things up, and that is good news. Just to draw aBeZy back in a big 2 kills as well. You have dodged the spawn trap. You have a 5-life lead. The opportunity to get this dub on offense, absolutely here. Yep, definitely possible. The stats be damned. 17-12, Subliners with the lead, and here comes the pressure. Look at those yellow icons on the minimap. They are creeping forward. Nice day out of Simp. Stay on board with Royalty for a moment as he's going to try to just find a kill or 2 here. Deep defense there from aBeZy. He's right tucked away in the corner, all angles covered here, and it's a bit of a stalemate chance. The only kill we've seen in the last, well, now 2, we've seen in the last few moments, it's mostly ATL. That is tough as well. I think maybe if the nades were coordinated just a little bit better, maybe New York can put something together, but now you're in a situation where Simp, he just gets to calculate what this push is going to be. Does he want to flank? He's trying to make these reads, and he just walks at him with the pistol and gets gunned. So honestly, for New York, this is the opening to actually get towards the hill.
You still got to make it happen, though. Idriston, first man in. Arcitys up next. Nice shots, good coverage. You've now allowed to get Atlanta FaZe now in the defensive position. You've got to find more kills. Clay might be the guy to do it. Here comes Hydra straight back. At it we go. Oh, Cell finds 2 somehow. Crim, forward he goes. Now he's on the kills. 20 seconds remaining. Get on the point. Stops the clock. Oh my goodness. If the defenders can get there in time, Crim's a dead man. Here come all the nades you could ever ask for. He has been blown off the map. Final 10 seconds. Look towards the kills because again, NYSL, they're up now. Watch that life count. It's all about the kills from here on out. Well, bish. No lives left. 8-4, the final number.
And that is, again, tough situation. Honestly, New York, I think, played that about as well as they could, given the situation. Even got the extra trades towards the end just to get Krim actually towards the point. But then, you know, problem number 5 when it comes to capturing B is just all the nades off spawn. Every single player from Atlanta, as soon as they spawn up, is just going to be looking at the sky, cooking that nade, and chucking them right on top of Krim. And as long as you're on point, you'll be good to go. It's not going to happen this round. I will say FaZe has been one of the teams that's like put themselves in a good situation to actually capture B. They're not going for that break off the rip, but maybe their next time on offense. They've created a good situation before, but as it stands now, picked apart for the most part. Clays are getting pretty aggressive towards the middle of the map, and Clay actually finds 2. Cellium finally turning to kill him, but Cellium's teammates got picked apart along the way, and decent little start here for the Subliners.
27-25. Subliners still with the lead. Here comes the pressure, and Mansell, he's got all the tricks. He really does. FMJ on for sure, allows him to shoot through a lot more cover than you would typically, and he's looking good. 24-22 now. New York Subliners still with that pressure. Royalty can't make anything happen here. Clay, he's having a decent map so far. 12-6 for him. He's back on another 2 spree, and he's already in the spawn of Atlanta FaZe.
And this is going to be quite a bit of a problem, right? Because you can just slow cap over towards A. Like, you got Clayster on one side of the spawn, and big gunfight for him to be able to win, just to try to be that cutoff man. But, of course, Simp is still alive on the other side, so you actually don't have a ton of pressure to actually defend this A point. But for the Subliners, as long as you're getting the kills, this is fine, but they're not getting the kills. Everyone was getting picked apart, so while Clay's trying to be the cutoff man, the rest of his team just trying to stabilize over towards B, and outside of aBeZy being in their spawn, so far so good.
About to get a minute 37 on the clock. As Krim, he finds at least 1 here, and again, Clay's been having such a good time, but Atlanta FaZe, amazing job now getting those kills and keeping the life count in their favor. Now they're attacking B. Let's go for a quick listen in.
Sitting our back spawn.
Okay, no one's really playing our side, by the way. Sorry, no.
Yeah, what's deep batteries, deep batteries, deep batteries. I'm top tower right now.
I'm with you.
Back spawn.
Okay, wait, he just went out. He just went out. I'm making this guy, yeah. Bro. I'm
Back spawn, Hydra.
They have control our side.
Yeah, we're good. That's fine. You know, we all work up our unit.
I'm just one, guys.
Trying to help on a fucking boat.
No, he's in my tower.
30, 50.
Where's he at?
He went back alley. Sorry, Hydra.
I don't see him.
He's there.
I don't see him.
I'm working over at you. You want to check it or you?
Oh,
give me our base.
I'm in the middle. Fuck.
Kill me our base.
He's front tower.
We gotta get our base though.
He's front tower.
I think they know that I'm back here.
Come on a 5.
Yeah.
Try to cross the back.
I bet you much of that.
Hydra short, going you.
Yeah, I'm on truck.
I'm sitting green.
I'm
flanking ring.
Okay.
Hope you're Cliff. I'm just looking at you for a second.
Rotate. That's rotate.
One deep. Clay.
Nice. I
I'll team short.
On team you.
I'll team top green. Could be benching. He's that side Krim. Last guy.
I see, nice.
Go on the truck. Top that. Another truck.
I died. Rotate got me.
Wait. Side green. Clay.
No, deep.
Be hard kill.
Pushing.
I had a chance. That 3-piece from aBeZy might be one of my favorite plays of the game so far. Can they capitalize on it though? It's 7-7. This is a spicy one. Time ticks out. We're tied up. NYSL still technically in the lead with a life count.
And I gotta say, as far as the comms go, one of the most impressive things to me, because I am terrible at this when it comes to like ranked, but many pros are good at it, but we heard it from Arcitys there, keeping track of how many kills every single player on the other team has, right? Just acknowledging that Krim is on a 5 spree and nailing it. Obviously, guys like Clayster and Krim, many of the vets, that is something they do incredibly well, but it's just always impressive to me the number of things these guys are keeping track of in game and having good communication and gun skill on top of it.
Yeah, very impressive. Talk about spinning plates. These boys very good at it indeed. They're still trying to keep that pressure up now, NYSL. We saw them keep things all good on the attacking run last round.
Nice shots.
Incredible shots. Let's go, Krim. Let's get it, baby. Forward we go. Now, with those kills, look at the Subliners flying in towards B, trying to get that top ring control. They got it over the boat now as well. And Krim find any more. Damn, that's Cellium. All right. RIP. We'll see you in the next live. So there we go. 28 lives now to the 24 of Atlanta FaZe. Subliners on top.
I love this angle, by the way, from Hydra. Oh, I thought he was going to be staying on point. People are so expecting you to be on the tank that if you play that off angle, it can pay off just a little bit, but instead he goes for spawn kills, and that is something he does not find. So That just turns into FaZe regaining that map control, getting you back off A, and you got aBeZy roaming the boat. Well, or dead. Well, he's double negative. I think that's how this game has been going for him for the most part.
Just look up, find a nade. No, not again. Second segment A gone. NYSL attacking. Forward they go. B's all clear now. Don't have to worry about that for a moment. Two-man stack. Actually, it's a one-man stack. Clay's on top boat. As Royalty's going to slowly capture that one. And he's starting to fit into the team. Chance, he's trying to do what he can here on Gavutu. And this is last-ditch attempt now from the New York Subliners to try to stay alive in the series. A win on an offensive round would be spectacular. We have to see if they can get it done, though. 2-2 split now for NYSL. Over to B we go. They've got the life count still in their favor.
Oh, they're just trying to push over for ring, though. Yeah, that is a beautiful play by FaZe right there. One of the worst things you could do, or one of the very few ways you can lose on defense, is if you just get picked apart from players on head glitches. So they make a play to go clear out ring, and they do so. Royalty, the next man up, maybe to think about trying to trap them in their spawn, but this is still a very wide setup right now for Atlanta FaZe. Plenty of time for New York to work with, but it's almost like a round of S&D. You're going to have to find at least 3 kills roughly at the same time to be able to make a play towards B, and I don't think they have any idea that Cellium's here.
No easy thing to do, indeed. This is looking awkwardly like...
Oh, they found him, though.
An actual conflict. No one wants to peek. Could have been 3 straight there for NYSL. Good teamwork there. The back lines for Atlanta FaZe starting to get a bit shaky. 18-12. Forward we go. Clay picks off Simp. Oh, gets away for a moment. Good nades, good stuns, you name it. Comms on point right now for Atlanta FaZe. Chance still just kill after kill, trying to keep this one together. But for now, New York Subliners are doing everything right. They've got the kills. They have the life lead. They will definitely be getting defense for the final round if we have to go that far.
Well, so far, so good. Again, you can afford to be a little bit stagnant. Just see if the play sort of falls into your lap. Also does crack me up like the stun grenades, right? We're going to have more stun grenade kills already in stage 1 than probably the rest of Call of Duty history. But there's 2 down. You get that ring control, and it just gets stripped away. Clayster actually with the team kill. Back to these 50-50 gunfights. Cellium ripping heads in that moment. Actually gets the wall bang through a rock.
Wow.
And just wins the next gunfight as well. You get the 5 life advantage. So honestly, for Subliners, that is a good round on offense. Just to be able to come out on top of kills, they will take it.
Yeah, they're looking good with that one. There was, I definitely saw Royalty just say, let's go. That was a definite, let's go. Have to be feeling good coming into these next rounds. We are going to go the full distance, unless, of course, something crazy happens.
Well, I mentioned this before, right? FaZe on the opening break, they might do something a little bit spicy here. They might be able to orchestrate a B hit. I mean, I think they're the only team this year that I think literally at one point had a 4 stack over towards B, and maybe not mixing things up, maybe saving that for the potential round 5, but it's like business as usual, just the standard opening break.
Priest continues now for Cellium. Okay, they're finding kills all over the place. Trying to now get themselves on towards A. There it is. 108, stops the clock. Simp watching the push. The long barrel of Crim's Automaton's going to poke out in a moment, show Simp the kill, gets it. Now we go over to B. New York Subliners trying to flood on out. They're getting pinned back a little hit chance. First time we've seen Atlanta FaZe with life lead in this map so far.
They'll take it. I suppose the only way you're going to get defense for that round 5 is you just have to come out and have a dominant round right here. And that's assuming they don't win on offense. I mean, you could just win on offense as well and just walk away with the game victory for FaZe. I will say, by the way, that is another headshot for aBeZy. I don't know if there's any stats guys that want to go and tally it up, but I think the number of headshots, by the way, another one for Cellium. I think literally almost half of FaZe's kills seemingly have been coming from headshots. Talk about a headshot multiplier that some years it's out, some years it's in, but right now Cellium taking it full advantage throughout this game. Just a little interesting note of something I might be crazy about.
No, boys, when it's in, and it certainly is here in Vanguard. Royalty finally staying on. Okay, I was going to say, you stayed alive for so long there, well handling the pressure from FaZe. Ship side of the map, but it all comes to a close now. And okay, baby, this is looking aggressive now. More headshots. There's chances keeping count. More headshots indeed, but the pressure from FaZe. A should be captured here. This is going to be 134 on the clock to play with. Whoa, okay, they got on it just in the nick of time. And Crim's going to make this very different. 19-15, Atlanta FaZe still with the life lead. Arcitys doesn't check the corner. Crim somehow stays alive. Less than 30 seconds to work with here. I thought we were going to be going to B at the very least, but now there is signs of life here from the Subliners. For FaZe, this is a good thing. They still have life lead, technically, as the round may come to a close.
And Krim just collecting more kills. I mean, he decaps the point as well. So Krim comes off spawn, grabs 4, decaps the point. With 5 seconds left, I mean, do you want to even dive bomb this towards the end? I feel like you might as well because you're already down on lives, but they just get picked apart in a fairly dominant round of defense there for New York Subliners. I mean, again, I wasn't exactly keeping track of the math because it seems fairly obvious, but New York, good news for them. I mean, you know, they're thinking about that reverse sweep. Get that defense for the round 5 on Gavutu. Try to grab that conversion. But I've brought it up twice at both the start of the offensive rounds for FaZe. I'll bring it up a third time and just hope that I'm right. One of the very few teams that's had a great deal of success trying to go towards B, and they're not doing it. Okay, I tried.
I mean, it's hard enough to beat a team in 3 defensive rounds. You know a team like FaZe has a very deep and complicated playbook. For now, it's relatively even across the board in the kills department. Arcitys with the capture. Is the 3rd time the charm. And with the trade, they actually killed each other at exactly the same point. It was Krim with a headshot, though, this time, Chance.
Headshots galore. Vibe for map control, still ever present. Couple battles by the boat. Royalty just sprinting to his death. Nice gunfight wins, though, coming in from Krim. You see right now the idea from aBeZy, just get behind enemy lines and try to cause confusion, but it is just scrapping us all over the board, and so far New York Subliners just keeping decent control. Clay wins another big one. As long as you're keeping this life count float for New York Subliners, you're in a good spot, or you can just get the 4 down and set up the spawn trap. This might be it.
That might be it. Look at the minimap. Number 1, number 2, they're going to be in the pinch. Cell's desperately trying to battle towards the boat. You have to kill these 2 players top boat, otherwise this map is over. That's good stuff out of Hydra. Hydra's still keeping the pressure up, but aBeZy now should be able to get him from behind. That's that. One side of the map open. Over to the other side of the map. Oh, okay. Simp managed to fight through. Royalty's there to pick up where Clay left off. Can he kill Cell? No. Back at it we go. Atlanta FaZe managed to get themselves out of the chokehold with 34 on the clock.
Nice angle from Arcitys. Nice gunny from Hydra. You're at least back on point. This is looking like New York, actually, they're going to be dive bombing. They got a couple players going over towards that tank to try to keep him out. Simp over top for the coverage, and maybe aBeZy for the flank. You get the final 2, you capture A. As it stands, you get a minute and a half to try to go get B. And honestly, I was going to say, aBeZy's open for the minute. aBeZy, this is your opportunity to fly. There's a kill for him just to stay in their spawn. Atlanta FaZe up by 1 life. It looks like New York turtled up in and around B. I mean, problem 1 has been solved. 3 more problems for Atlanta to go.
Back to the aLLeY now for the New York Subliners. They're pushed against literally the sea wall. This could be the end of it. 3-man hit now from FaZe through top side of the map. Krim's going to be up first. He's in trouble, dude. There's nothing left to throw, though, from these FaZe players on this lives. Krim with a nice 2-piece. Hydra can't get involved now as well. Krim finds 3. Okie dokie, Krim! That's a 4 spree now. Full streaks.
And Krim is a machine, 34 kills, leading the lobby. Honestly, Krim has looked fantastic this year. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Krim, it is no surprise that the greatest of all time is going to hit the new Call of Duty. But, you know, got to point it out just because some of these vets do get criticized more often than not. But no ticks of progression to come through. 99, less than 30 seconds on the clock. FaZe, again, you got to string something together, but New York, they've just given them nothing, including a glide bomb that's going to be able to take care of a Simp. You know the next 2 players are P1.
Wow.
Hydra is there to at least get the next one. A chokehold of a defensive round. Subliners, they have been too clean here on Gavutu.
Krim continues to have a very clean and smooth aim. There we go. Big shots. Wins another from that little heady. That's the last of the lives now for Atlanta in the final few seconds. And defense reigns supreme. It was a delicate balance there from the New York Subliners, but some slaying heavy rounds managed to net them that defensive win towards the end there. And that's a big nice of everyone there on the New York Subliners. They will live to fight another map. The chance is that enough in the series. 2-1. We go now into another hard point.
Well, yes, for New York, 0-8 right now throughout stage 1 in Hardpoint. If they get their first win in their final match here to force that game 5, I mean, the entertainment value would certainly skyrocket. I mean, obviously, if you're picking anybody to beat FaZe, while the Subliners don't look great for this moment throughout stage 1, Clayster and Krim are at the very top of the list of guys to deal with Atlanta, right? They won a world championship 2 years ago, beating these players on Atlanta FaZe as well. So two guys that can certainly get it done. And I just want to say, again, long-term, one of the most important things to look at is just the slaying capabilities of Royalty and Hydra as well, making sure they're having consistent performances. We got that there on the Control. We also got that on the Berlin in spite of the loss. So I think we are seeing a couple of improvements for New York Subliners, which obviously when you make a trade in the middle of a stage, you have to start putting things together very quickly. But outside of the S&D for New York, I like what I've seen so far.
I agree. I think it's definitely the long game here for the New York Subliners. They've got a lot of work to do to catch up. And again, they were having to play catch up from the start of the season as well, of course. A couple of players getting sick. Hydra managed to go home to France. When he comes back, he's ill. Then Clay gets sick, and it's just non-stop. So the practice has been patchy, to say the least, for the New York Subliners. But finally, are they able to get something going? That big win on Control, as we look across the highlights, no idea what Cell was shooting there. Obviously he's shooting Crim in the next clip, but what was he shooting by the fence? Was he trying to like check a dead body?
I blinked and I missed it. Sorry, I was looking at the map records for Tuscan. So
no, sorry, you're doing exactly your job.
Cell can shoot whatever he wants. If there's a crab on the beach that he has an issue with, he'll take care of it, you know?
He will.
As far as the actual map records go, by the way, 2-1 for FaZe on the Tuscan Hardpoint, 0-3 for the Subliners. So they've been going back to Tuscan. It is a map apparently they like, maybe a little bit more success in scrims, but not one they have translated so far throughout stage 1. We'll see how it goes for them, you know?
We will have to see how it goes. But hey, momentum's a big thing, and the New York Subliners will see if it can help out. I mean, for FaZe right now, you've already secured yourself your spot in the winner's bracket. Do you end up just sort of taking that, you throw the Tuscan, you try something new, and then you go to Berlin Search and Destroy for the practice? Potentially.
No. What are you talking about? No, you don't throw maps in the what are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying throw it,
not.
but you try something new. You don't feel too bad if you lose it. I'm talking about
if there's like an opening break you want to try out, depending on what side you're on, sure. Like if there's something new for an opening break, yes. Outside of that, no, absolutely not.
I'm not talking
put
about
them in the dirt, you 100-point club them, you shoot bodies the whole way through. That's how you play Tuscan. You shoot bodies.
There was a lot of bodies being shot in the last Tuscan we saw, and now we may see it again. That Hardpoint's on its way. I'm not talking about legit throwing. It's just, it's no like, I'm not sitting here like, no.
We gotta get that Berlin S&D practice, man. We just can't win this
I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'm just trying to theory craft, because if we get to that game 5, then it can be like, oh, here's some spicy stuff. Forget it. Just, can we get into the match? Just get us into this one already. It's been shenanigans non-stop here in the CDL. But mate, honestly, Tuscan, the record ain't good for NYSL. Was it Crim tweeting about that? He was like, how do you veto against us when you know we haven't won a single hard point? Like, yeah, 200 IQ right there, dude. We'll see, though. Atlanta FaZe obviously looking particularly strong in basically every map and mode right now, but they still have their weaknesses. Obviously, they're trying to iron those out before champs, as the team does, really playing the long game indeed. But here we go, Tuscan Hardpoint. This should be a fun one.
And again, still just not my full attention, but a good deal of my attention will be going towards the duo of Royalty and Hydra, right? You're going against the best SMG duo of the past 3 years since these guys have gotten together. This is, as far as the slang goes, the best possible practice you could realistically get before going into the major. And I'd say overall, right, I mean, Crim throughout the year has looked phenomenal. His KD on point, even just within this series, he has been frying. The Gavutu, especially Crim, was on one. So Crim, I have no qualms about. Obviously, the two GOATs, you just expect them when the time comes to be able to turn up. Even when you're getting bodied in the S&D, Clay still clutches his 1v1s, you know? Like, you have the potential there. The focus for me is on the SMGs, and so far in this series, again, in spite of that first hardpoint loss, they still have looked good, or at the very least improved.
We'll see how far those improvements can take us. aBeZy first blood, kills, nades, you name it, all across the board. Into the hardpoint we finally go. Hydra managed to catch one in the transition. Sim's already on the flank, and here comes Arcitys. Good kill into Hydra there. Keeps the hardpoint out of the hands of NYSL for a brief moment. Back at it we go again. Here comes Royalty. Flying forward. MP40 at the ready, and it is trade on trade on trade. aBeZy comes out on top. Time going their way. The chance. 25 left in this one. This has been a bloodbath.
And this is actually a fantastic hold. I know we're only up by like 10 points, but ordinarily the team that spawns on the left side gets that P1 control almost for free. This time, though, FaZe, and off the back of Cellium, your Game Fuel featured player, well, that's a 3-speed for him. He gets top church, but what they don't have is the spawns, and FaZe has no idea that they just gave that up, but there's the surprise. You talk about a gift that New York needed. Well, they got it. A free rotation towards P2, but it's never a free time trying to kill Cell.
No. Dude, look at this. I'll go build an F&J class like now. He's shooting through everything. I haven't seen him get any crazy kills yet, but you can see the thought is there, and it's going to happen at some point this year. Royalty with the tucked away in the corner. Man loves him. Hello. Ooh, nice teamwork coming out of the NYSL there. Good kills going their way. They should be able to strip the lead away slowly but surely now, as you have to contend with Cellium, and he's our Game Fuel featured player for a reason. He has been lights out all Vanguard long so far.
Oh, this is Royalty, though, on a 4 spree, looking for 5. Again, the player that needs to step up. If he could think about some streaks, that'd be ideal, but he ends up getting traded by aBeZy there. This will not quite enough, but either way, nice little moment for him. Towards the middle of the map, Simp should get caught out on this rotation. Placer going hunting, and with that kill, secures that free rotation. So it was a gift for New York just to be able to win that rotation towards P2, get a little bit closer in this game, but still down by about 27 points going into new. Get the full setup once again, but someone's got to get in that hill.
Yep, Clay's got hops as well. Set up now from NYSL. It's going to be a 2-man hit through the backside of the rooftop from Atlanta FaZe. Crim. Here comes trouble. Game Fuel featured player. He's going to be the one to pick up the kills if everyone else is in first. aBeZy, though, checking every possible corner. Okay, NYSL holding this one down for now. Here come the push. aBeZy does manage to get one. The 5 spree. Oh my goodness, still going. And that is it. You're in. As only member left up now for NYSL was Clay. They get pushed off the point. That's a clean break. You got full control now.
Yeah, that was a really interesting setup from New York because they just sort of like spread the board on there. But as soon as Crim isn't able to just sit in that anchor position and you give up like the back like that, well, FaZe completely takes over and breaks the hill. So that is a bit of a money hill wasted. I think maybe just a tighter setup might have paid dividends there. But either way, nice breaks. By the way, number 8, I don't know when Simp got there, but he has been a rock for a few seconds. As soon as this hill pops, you're going to have FaZe players spawning right next to him. So maybe not, actually. Maybe it'll take an extra second. Simp's still on the flank.
Arcitys has been a little slow in the series thus far, but 10-5 here on Tuscan. He's having a good time. Over to the church we go. Nice cleanups there. Clay right at the back of the map. Still have to now push forward. Spawn's not ideal right at this point in time. 7 for aBeZy. Streaks, you name it. He's having a whale of a time. They've got full control of church. New York Subliners now wind up, hit through the back. aBeZy can't pick a right corner. Will get taken out. Royalty with a nice 2-piece to break on in. There we go. 25 seconds remaining here, and you're going to get plenty of it now for the New York Subliners. Will take that. Good job out of them. Nice stuff out of Royalty as well. And Hydra, the back line. Good clean up kills. Gets the ball as well. Jump on the time. Keep it going, New York Subliners. Great way to string that push together.
And good hole trying to make this a battle. By the way, Crim 3-11. So maybe, you know, give him the credit. Caster's curse him just a touch, but he's probably the man that really needs to try to bounce back. Royalty, another kill, but a couple trades coming through. FaZe is sort of here first, but maybe not really. Royalty on the flank. He's able to find one. His teammates are coming up through the back steps, and you see trades inside the hill. It is a 1v1 fight, though. At least at the first between him and Arcitys, and obviously Simp is there. Royalty, he was looking for it, can't find it. This looks like FaZe. Well, maybe just a battle for P5. It is literal hell inside of this hill.
It's such a horrible little room. Arcitys somehow managed to find one more. Absolute bloody chaos. But there we go. New York Subliners, they're going to get it. They're going to push them out, try to hold the time for as long as they can. Let's go for a quick listening with the New York Subliners.
Nice. Could be bottom.
We can radio, 2 there. 2, 1 bike, 1 radio. 1 bike, 1 radio.
How much bike?
Guy radio rotated, top church. I split. I'm going around the back.
Just probably got fire.
I'm killing him, I'll kill him. They know I flipped.
Yeah. I'm going around.
Alec is radio right now, going top church.
I got one.
He's top church.
Top church.
iLLeY.
I don't see him. He's cutting you guys off. One's grass. aBeZy. Grass.
Going to. He's in the corner, left corner, Simp.
We're good,
Simp,
Joe.
jump that wall.
Yeah, wall.
Let's go middle. Let's go middle.
Yeah, I'm going
middle.
iLLeY was mid. He's top church.
Up church. I'm watching your light.
Mid alley.
Top church.
Nice.
I don't know where he went.
Yo, mid.
He's weak.
Big car.
Nice. Yo, I flipped guys.
Let's go, Paco.
Yeah, wait for me. How much you right?
I mean, weak on the heady. Got heady. 2 there. No, I got one you.
Outside you.
I killed him more side you. One's on the wall. Just go through mid again. Don't get the trap.
I'm going well.
You go well, okay.
One's outer.
Hold that for me, Clay.
Good. 2 in light heady.
Top church weak.
2 in light heady.
One middle.
Yeah,
They're out. Wait for each other, guys.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I'm helping you mid.
Alex
Mid weak. He's outside you.
Okay.
One's light.
Alex dead middle.
One's light heady.
I'm flying.
Yeah, one's field.
We gotta go.
Field. Oh, he's laying down. And one's
No, keep shotting.
Rotate.
Let's get on
Mid.
you.
Dashy did mid.
Tell him jump on me.
Yeah, we gotta go right.
Yep. All right.
Take our time on this. I stand over old. Number one's old. Number one's old.
Close, right.
He slid away. It's Simp. He backed up. Nice. Good shit. And you, Dad. I shit on him.
I got Sun Hill.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm radio. Go.
Guys, how hard does it sound to play in these games? Really, man. Great comms out of NYSL, but it has not turned into a whole lot outside of the lead. Atlanta FaZe still growing.
It really is just such a tough matchup. I mean, I think generally speaking, I'm a much bigger fan of like the calm communication, but frantic isn't always bad. Maybe not the best of looks when you're calling out repeatedly you have a kill just to get turned on, but I mean, outside of that, I just think right now this is just a comfortable game right now for FaZe, right? Slaying across the board, been pretty consistent. A couple good breaks that they need, they were able to get, by the way, aBeZy at some point. I mean, he's certainly thinking about glides, maybe long term, but that's a 4-man wipe. That is a free rotation towards P2. And again, this is a hill that New York sort of gave away last time. I mean, Simp might have an SMG, but I think he will happily just sit in that anchor position and let his teammates try to collect that time.
For over 200 points now. Simp from the back finds 2. Ooh, baby, nearly gets it. Crim, though, with a break. Here we go. Arcitys up. Can we find the kills? He managed to take down 2. Royalty Hydra now working as a 2-man team over that hardpoint. Spawns are going to be good. You're going to be able to jump on this one ASAP now for the New York Subliners and pick up some time. FaZe spawn a little further out. 40 seconds on this point. aBeZy's going to try to crack it wide open with a glide.
aBeZy chooses to kill the guy on point in the end. He's going to be able to call it to his teammates. 2 players in the back, but Clayster makes a nice reflank just to take down Arcitys. So that is a glide bomb invested in. You really don't get too much out of it. You have to go back to the actual gunfights where everyone from New York posted up and ready. A much better hold this time around. And honestly, the fact that this started out with Simp picking up a 2-piece from the back, Subliners making amends for a dire situation. That grenade might strip away 10 seconds, but it's also going to put Atlanta FaZe, spawning towards old. So you take that rotation, you're down by 60, but game's not over yet.
Yeah, that low left-hand side of the map, that's where FaZe are coming out of now. Careful, boys. You might run off the map and die. That's not an uncommon occurrence here on Vanguard. Simp, though, flying forward he goes. Himself fighting knife in hand. Here we go. Immediately trying to hit the players in the back spawn. This could be huge. Timing on this could be amazing now. Hardpoint's going the way of NYSL. Hydra reads it. That's massive. RC through the front. Can't quite get it done. Hydra once again. Back at it. Hydra can't take care of aBeZy, though. He's the last man left standing in church, and that is his hardpoint. We still have players now for NYSL close by. Able to get this one done indeed. Here we go. Final 30 for the win here for Atlanta FaZe. They cannot get it here anymore on church. But Cellium, the Game Fuel featured player, has been relatively quiet in the map so far, Chance, but man, we are in the business end of it. This could be the closeout. Oh, God.
24 to 165. That might be the difference maker. A couple nice kills coming through in that battle for scrap. Ever important just to strip away those 15 seconds. And you see New York, you do get that rotation of P5. So again, down but not out. Not just yet. I'll be able to dodge these nades, though. Get that set up. Crim with that first blood on this next engagement. You see the players just out of the window. Royalty gets traded, and he team kills, and FaZe will be happy for it. But Clay with the grenade of time just to make this back towards 50-50. Can anyone survive the onslaught of nades? So far, no.
Oh, somebody put fortified on. Anything. So get in there. There's kills all over the place. Royalty from the stairwell. Now the pinch. You've still got members of NYSL up for a moment. No, it's all on a Hydra. No, he can't find the kills over to Crim. Managed to get 2. Trying to keep the pressure alive. Here comes the final hit. 10 seconds now for the win. They can get it done on P5. NYSL flying on forward. Cellium has to retreat downstairs. Reinforcements now from the outside of aBeZy Simp. They're flying in. The gruesome twosome cutting through you. You've still got hardpoint for NYSL though, Simp. Cut down Clay. Keep the clock ticking. It is absolute insanity here on P5. This room, it is truly hell on earth. And right now, New York Subliners look to be the devils as they clean that one up. Fast rotation over the next. You can't let them get time.
Oh, they just did that as well. And now you got trades on trades. Hydra looking for the next one. If he gets it, well, there's the opening, but he's got another one-on-one gunfight to get the aBeZy, and aBeZy shuts him down. All that to scatter for the rotation just to make things 50-50. And it is a trade fest around this point. The FaZe 4 seconds away from winning it. You got to contest it, Clay. Do it his job. The swarm on the hill is there, but the kills for FaZe in the game set match for FaZe as well. Taking care of business for the final regular season sort of match for stage 1. Undefeated, Atlanta has stayed, setting themselves up for the major. They're looking to be on form.
You might not be happy with it, but you cannot be surprised by it. Atlanta FaZe continue to do exactly what we expect them to see. That is unbelievable from them. A 3-1 victory today over the New York Subliners. And oh, this boy's pick'ems are looking, oh, juicy. Oh, wow. Oh, it's got such a terrible cough. Excellent job on the pick'ems, Miles Ross. There we go, the 250-190 there on Tuscan chance. Again, like, it's just kills across the board. aBeZy 30-21. I do want to say, though, I mean, New York Subliners, as amazing as FaZe are in general, NYSL have clean comms. I felt like teamwork was way more on point. They're only going to get better. You know, the more time they get to spend with the royalty in the roster, surely this is a good sign coming into the major.
Absolutely. New York, without question, I think will be a pretty serious threat. I don't know about for contending to actually win the thing. That would be wild if they could make that deep of a run, but certainly to make some sort of run and start picking apart wins. I mean, this is a hyper-competitive league, and I think New York Subliners come Major 1 will certainly be ready to go, but I think right now Atlanta FaZe is looking at the hyper-competition that we have, and I don't know, maybe just looking to see business as usual, continue their success that they have been having for years at this point. Through stage 1 to go undefeated, 5-0 record for the boys in red. I mean, in my mind, they got to be the top pick to win the thing, right?
You have to. You really do. There's no getting around that. I mean, they're still an unbelievable squad. All things considered, you know, practicing the weaker game modes coming into a major is exactly what you want out of, you know, that was the game plan. You know, they turned their worst game mode into literally the map that won them champs last year, and the playoffs were insane. So Atlanta FaZe doing exactly just that. Highlights, again, just very, very interesting stuff. P5s just proved to continue to be, I'm struggling to find a better word than, yeah, it is the stuff of nightmares in that tiny little room. So many nades, so many tight little corners to play. Difficult stuff indeed, but NYSL, a couple of clean breaks there, a couple of good looks, and decent time accrued on both teams. But man, Tuscan, it's definitely one of my more enjoyable hardpoint maps here in Vanguard, but when these guys play it, when Simp and everyone is frying, when Atlanta FaZe are looking good, it doesn't look the same as the rest of the league. It just doesn't to me.
They have a switch that very few other teams, I think literally maybe just Toronto. Actually, OpTic as well. OpTic have looked nice this year. Yeah. I think there's maybe like 3 teams, I would say, that have that like switch that they can flip and just start dominating people. And obviously it's map specific, you know, Boston and S&D at times are able to put in work, but whatever the case may be, Atlanta FaZe absolutely just built differently. And of course, on the flip side, because I will continue to sell this story for Subliners, I think that's a map you look back on, and what's different from their first, you go, oh, you know, we got a guy dropping a 0.7. It's too fresh. Our slaying power simply isn't there. I think the slaying power is much better this go around. And you can even look at the Tuscan and be like, oh, our P3 hold that we had a free rotation to, we just got butchered on. Like, that's the thing we need to clean up rather than just having a guy that has to drop, you know, an extra 30 kills per steal.
Well, there we go. Our Game Fuel marquee match comes to a close. And I think one of the greatest questions I have coming into the major chance is, will the New York Subliners be able to win a hardpoint?
Yes, yes, they will.
Yes, they will. Chances said it. I think he might be right. Desk, how do you feel?
I feel like New York Subliners definitely look better. I mean, let's be completely honest for just a moment right here. Even though, yeah, they got just destroyed by Atlanta FaZe, I wouldn't even say destroyed, man. They
wasn't destroyed.
Yeah, they were in there really close when it came to the hard points and whatnot. And I'm going to be completely honest. I legitimately thought they were going to win a hard point or two this series.
Yeah, honestly, for a moment there, I thought that they were going to end up going all the way to the Game 5.
I was hoping.
You know, that control was beautiful on the side of New York. But, you know, talking a little bit more specifically about the hard points, on that Tuscan was really just P1. FaZe was like, that was when we saw New York in the listening. You could sort of dive into the game and feel how it would be to play against Atlanta FaZe. And it's like an iron fist. Like, there's no way that they were able to get into that P1 hard point. You saw the calls like, let's go mid. And they were, you know, the communication was there. The pushes were there. They were just losing those gunfights in that instance. And thinking back to the first map as well, a couple opportunities, but when it goes to that train hill, FaZe was able to just lock it down and New York wasn't able to get inside. So once again, it's just like 1 or 2 moments across both those hard points that if it goes New York's way, they're able to win it. And versus some of the other teams in our league that aren't Atlanta FaZe, New York might be able to get over that hump. So yes, they will win a hard point.
And Crim and Clay were, not Crim and Clay, excuse me, Crim and Hydra were negative in that Tuscan hard point as well, and they still kept it within about 40 to 50 points. So I think that's a testament to how good this New York team could really be.
I have to say it, man. Royalty will start off hot as well. I mean, this is the start from a sub player that New York has been looking for, right? He was phenomenal. But you know who else was phenomenal? It was Cellium, the Game Fuel player to watch that series. That man dominated.
Disgusting.
He's going to be the one in the interview. And Cellium, man, welcome. Congratulations on the big win.
And so we got to talk about it, man. Those nades in that Tuscan hardpoint are literally ridiculous. And in the search, what is it like? Like, do y'all just go in a private lobby and you're all like, all right, guys, so this is the angle for this nade. You got to hit it right on the wall in the corner at a 90-degree angle. Like, what is that like?
I mean, I just have aBeZy, like aBeZy always goes to private matches, just tries to find nades and send it to me. So I would just like steal whatever he does with nades. So I mean, that's my guy, so I love him.
Cell, talk to me about the control a little bit, because I remember watching you guys in the past, and you would, try to push B early on in the round, and then the last couple of offenses, you guys decided to just go with the full-on A push both times. So what's the reasoning there?
I mean, control. I think control in this game is played a lot different. I think it's just based off kills. So, I mean, our strat just like keep killing and just just try to just kill pretty much.
Sounds good.
All right, now we're heading into the OpTic Texas Major at the beginning of March, and I'm going to have to ask you, because Cell, you're a really humble guy. In regards to the competition, who do you see as the top 3 teams heading into this event from your personal opinion?
I mean, top three teams, just it's pretty basic, right? It's
obviously
up there.
FaZe,
Toronto, Seattle, OpTic, like the big names. I think those are some good teams for us.
I want to hear from the top dog himself, man. And of course, you guys are looking like the absolute favorites. Keep up the good work. Tell the team I said congrats, and we'll see you all in Texas, all right?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Take it easy, so.
Yeah, we hear the team, deliberating in the back and after that big victory. But aLLeY, I mean, Miles was saying it, and Chance was saying it as well. Outright, out of every team that we've seen, Atlanta FaZe have just been cruising so far, and they make it look easy.
Yeah, and no, we all try to make it so difficult. We try to be like, okay, well, this team kind of made them look human for a second, I guess, and New York kind of made them look human on that hard point. But regardless, they're nasty. They are literally dominating. After that Kickoff Classic loss, they have been undefeated across the board. This is obviously, once again, the team to beat this year.
The team to beat last year, and looking like the team to beat this year as well. But ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have the Zenny Major preview show, where we will be breaking down the bracket, who's going to be on the winner's side and also the loser's side of the bracket. You don't want to miss it. We'll catch you guys in just a second before we close out the CDL Week 3 season.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to the CDL Analyst Desk. aBeZy, aLLeY, and also Nameless. But you know what? Enough with all the talk and the introduction. Let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket for the upcoming OpTic Texas Major, because now, throughout 3 weeks of gameplay, we have seen
what we got.
Ended up in the winner's side and also the loser's side. And already, Nameless, what pops out at you, man?
Oh, man. LA Thieves and Toronto Ultra. I mean, round 1, that's an absolute banger right there. OpTic Texas, Seattle Surge. My goodness, man, we could have some crazy upsets like round 1. I have no idea what's going to happen in either one of those matches. And then obviously Breach, drawing the short stick there, having to play Atlanta FaZe. This is wild, man.
This is going to be big. Looking at the loser side as well, we got Florida, Paris, Minnesota Røkkr, and the New York Subliners. And I'm going to be completely honest, I wouldn't want to go down as side against a lot of these teams.
You know something else I just noticed? We got London Royal Ravens playing LAG. The only L that Royal Ravens held was to LAG, and that's who they have round 1.
Oh, that
rematch season, baby.
Yeah, aLLeY, what's on your mind, girl?
I'm mind blown. This round 1 of winners is honestly way scarier than looking at the losers bracket right now, because Atlanta FaZe versus Boston Breach, that's obviously the toughest matchup in our first round. And like Nameless said, OpTic Texas versus Seattle Surge, LA Thieves versus Toronto, the rematch winners is going to be some of the most exciting matches of the week.
But not only that, I'm looking at the loser side right now. The one cause of concern that I have is the fact that Minnesota Røkkr and the New York Subliners Subliners are sitting there smack dab at the bottom. Whoever plays them in the first round of losers or even the second round,
they're getting put in a blender.
I mean, just think about it. Like, the only match you look at where it's like, they're probably going to lose in their first one is Paris Legion. Like, the rest of these teams, they have huge upset potential. And even Paris had some bright moments early on in Major 1 qualifiers. So it's really like anyone's game. And some of these teams, like some heavy hitters, like either OpTic or Seattle, are entering losers bracket after round 1. Thieves or Ultra entering losers bracket after round 1. They go down, they play Røkkr or Florida Mutineers team that we saw in that last match. That's a potential first round knocked out of the tournament. So it's going to get crazy. We're going to see an insane upset like round 1 in losers.
The one thing that I absolutely love with Atlanta facing up there up top, I mean, Boston Breach, you got Seattle Search, you got all these top teams there. I don't think anybody has a free ride to the finals.
Absolutely not. You know, see with Minnesota Røkkr and losers and the amount that they've pushed these teams to limit, I just know they're going to make a run, dude. I just know they're going to push everybody to the edge through the losers gauntlet. I'm so excited to see it, Belly.
Yes, now let's go ahead and recap what's been happening today. London versus Seattle was definitely a good one. Now, pick'ems were definitely chalked here and there, and London Royal Ravens are absolutely destroying the competition. Afro had a field day, aLLeY, and wasn't nobody stopping him.
Dude, Afro on that Tuscan, man, he had 24 untraded kills. Now, another wild stat, though, is Lamar actually had 25 accuracy on the side of Seattle Search, so that was a wild stat, but they still lost the map, and it was Gizmo as well, putting Seattle in an absolute blender with boat control on Gavutu, the 250 to 141 win. London is feeling fantastic this year going into the major.
But for Seattle, I mean, Nameless, this is a wake-up call, man. This is a call down to earth, and I'm going to be completely honest. I like this for them because if you're winning everything, especially as a young team, you're kind of expecting nothing but doves, but they were smacked down, and they know that the competition.
Yeah, it's about how they respond to this adversity. That's 2 matches in a row that they've lost, right? And 2 matches in a row, they've gotten smoked in those losses. So for Seattle Surge, they have to improve upon all 3 game modes. And there's a player that I'm calling out in specific, and that's going to be Simp. He started off the series like he needed to bounce back, and he started out first map 21 and 30. It's unacceptable out of that player on your squad. And you know, I expect him to be the guy going out there, getting those kills, getting the big kills to open up the map for players like Mack and Pred, right? We know we're going to get out of accuracy. He's the guy who's going to sort of play meadow boots, play that statue role in the lanes by himself, and he did his thing. He played just fine. So expecting Simp to really step it up at the major, and we know what he's capable of. So this team can be very dangerous.
This team is young, but this team is also great, man. But let's talk about the second game of the day. Boston versus Texas, and this one really didn't disappoint. It was entertaining, and I love the gameplay, aLLeY.
It was definitely entertaining, but y'all already know how I felt about this match. It was incredibly frustrating across the board, specifically in hardpoints for me. It just felt like a lot of big mistakes on the likes of Boston Breach, but OpTic Texas, man, a huge turnaround from the start of this season, and heading into their home major, this is a huge 3 wins for them overall. iLLeY has really been the light for this team. In-game calls, man, they look so much better across all game modes. I'm really excited what they end up doing.
Yeah, you know, looking at this series, I mean, I think Boston, like, in their hardpoint, at least on Gavutu, it was fine. They were able to take down that win. For OpTic Texas in hardpoint, like, they really have to get good at either Gavutu or Berlin, because when they play some of the top teams, and if they're trying to make a run at getting a championship, those maps are absolutely going to be tested against them. So we're going to have to see either we're going to have to see Scump or Shotzzy pull out, you know, an automaton and make some waves happen on that Gavutu map if they're going to be playing that, because it looks like they're starting to get rid of Berlin. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But you know, a good sign for OpTic Texas is iLLeY has stepped it up. He was their X factor headed into the series, 7-0 maps where he goes positive, and he also had another solid series versus a Boston Breach team that's been playing very good as well.
I will say this, man, the storylines for some of the teams that came into this year hot, such as Boston Breach and also Seattle Surge, winning a lot and now also getting beat towards the end, and teams like OpTic Texas actually picking things up as well. It's teaching the new guys and the newer teams like, hey, you know what, we saw the success, but yeah, we're going to slow you down and humble you for a bit, and we're going to see how they answer to that adversity, just like you said. But let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for the major. We have it. It's out now. The first game of the event will be London Royal Ravens versus LAG.
These are all fire.
Yeah, I am. Which one's your favorite? I'm looking at OpTic Texas versus.
Brother, I mean, there's a lot of these matches I like. That first one is amazing because it's London Royal Ravens who've looked incredible going up against LAG, a team people are counting out. I don't know, man. I think that's the one I'm picking.
Asim, Afro, you got Zero. Like, this
and they beat the Royal Ravens, right? So they got that confidence. So that one's going to be a heavy hitter. Also, that LA Thieves Toronto is going to be.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say LA Thieves and Toronto Ultra has got to be the one for me, just because these are both teams based around so much teamwork. And Cammy's really stepped it up for me from the last series that we saw from them. So going against a team like LA Thieves, that kind of matches them in that team chem category. It'll be a banger for sure.
So for the City Major preview show, Anthony, Nameless, this has been an amazing 3 weeks so far, from the Kickoff Classic to what we're doing right now. I mean, from upsets to the storylines, things are looking kind of thick, man. Heading into the Major, what do you want to say to the beautiful people at home?
I want to say thank you guys for rocking with us. It's been an incredible season so far. We're actually going to, give out a championship here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be amazing to be in front of the crowd, and also working with you guys has been great. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the desk. It's been an amazing season thus far, and let's kill this Major, okay?
Oh, it's been fun. The Kickoff Classic was fun. It was something that nobody ever expected. It was explosive, right? But heading into this first Major, we are definitely bringing it. A lot more surprises to come. You guys don't want to miss it. We're going to see you all at the beginning of March, and like we said, from top teams to the newcomers, everybody is gunning for that #1 spot. Kind of like moths to a flame. We all want that success, right? We're going to find out who does it best on that main stage. We'll see you all in Texas, and until then, you all take it easy. Be kind to yourselves. We love you, and we'll see you next time for some more CDL action.